so much Gilles from our various experienced and specially selected speakers. So before we go into the serious part of the conversation, I think, let me look for someone that, oh, Stanley. Stanley was the chairman in my set student council. So Stanley, please continue the good job you always do in school. Lead us in prayers, please.
Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Stanley.
Okay, I just wanted to know that you all can hear me. All right, in Jesus' name, Father, we commit this program into your hands. We pray that you grant all of the speakers the right utterances such that they'll be able to speak and it shall gain entrance into everyone who will be listening in the name of Jesus. We pray that everyone else that is set to join this webinar, they would come here safely and they would have every cause to glorify your name at the end of this session. In Jesus' mighty name, we have prayed.
Amen. Thank you, Senior Pastor Stanley. So I'll just give a quick brief about today's section and what we are going to be enjoying from this section, basically. So the topic, positioning yourself for a better job opportunity. Now, this section was specifically curated, for persons that, not just people that don't have jobs, people that have jobs now, but looking for like a better job. I mean, everybody always look forward to having better jobs, even aside the whole conversation of pay raise, maybe better condition, a better role, something that fits into like the new goal you have for yourself. That's why we decided to do this. Create good moderators, experienced guys from all sphere, from the CV side to the HR side to the career side, even touching like the creative side, make sure we don't leave anybody out. I mean, even in the creative sector, I am in the creative sector, and that sometimes you need to position yourself to get some very, very good opportunities in our space. Same thing with everyone, from your CV to your body language to interviews, all manner of things. Yeah, that's what this section is going to be about. So I would advise us to be attentive, enjoy it. I'm here to chip in some little playfulness because it's a very serious section, and I'm not going to allow it to be that serious, but just chip in there, make sure we go with a better position, basically. Yes. So let me just go straight in. I have Stanley, I have Avren, I have Amasamis. Amasamis is the best director in Africa. I don't know any other director. I know I have Chizomrom Daniela. So I'm going to pick from, let me not pick Stanley again, so that doesn't look like I'm seeing Chizorom. So I'm going to let Chizorom introduce herself, then we go into it.
Hi, Ayobami. Can you see me or hear me? And hear me? I'm switching between networks.
Both.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yeah, we can see.
Okay, awesome. Hi, everybody. First of all, just to say thank you to the leadership of both flights for the opportunity to, speak with everybody, fellow Eagles. I love Carolina University so much, and I'm just glad to be here. And I'm very, very excited to be sharing. So brief introduction about me. My name is Chizorom Daniela Ukwa, as you can see from my name on this chat. But people who were in my flight will know me as Chizzy. I'm a marketing and communications leader, and I'm based in Abuja, Nigeria. So my career journey hasn't been straightforward. Like, I have done a couple of roles. I have been a public relations executive. I have been a research assistant for one of the lecturers in Corporate University, remotely. I have been a business development assistant. I've been a customer relations executive and a real estate investment advisor. And then, transitioning into my current career, which is marketing communications, and then becoming a consultant for a couple of organizations. So I currently serve at EHA Clinics, a subsidiary of eHealth Africa, as a communications manager, and I also am the lead marketing consultant at Gatewood Consulting. I also consult for Route to Market, an international development organization which specializes in social enterprises and helping them scale. When I'm not doing all these things, I am a global shaper, a World Economic Forum global shaper. I'm also a YouTuber, and I'm very proud to be a wife of an eagle and a mom of two. So I'm happy to be here and looking forward to learning from everybody on the panel. Let's have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniela. Before you go on, I have one question for you. Have you been shown off? Yes, that's the real word, on our love spotlight.
You've not spotlighted me now. I have nice stories.
Don't worry. That's going to change today. I have to submit on here. Eagle.
I'll send you my bill.
Yes. No, anything. No, eagle. We have to make the world know that. I mean, I don't know, my girlfriend may be on this call, or I don't mind. I'm looking for eagles so that everything can go well. Thank you, Daniel. That's a lot you're doing. Like, that's a whole lot. I was counting, then I lost count here. So I will take over to Stanley. Stanley, just quickly introduce yourself, what you do, and what we should expect from this section. Anu, please, I'm single. I am single. Please. Stanley, let's go.
Hi everyone. It's really nice to be a big part of what has been set up here today. So just a brief introduction about myself. My name is Stanley Chileke. I graduated in 2019. Just like Ayo said, I was privileged to be the student council president at that time. And after then, I've been able to build a career as a product manager in information and technology. And aside what I do with work, everyone knows me as a product manager. I also provide consultation services to people who want to improve on their career paths and also want to make career switches, improve on their resumes, improve their personal branding through LinkedIn as well. So that's basically what I do. I have been able to build a service out of that, and it's really, really interesting to see how people, come to me without an idea on how to, push themselves forward towards what they really want. And then when they're done speaking with me, they kind of, have an idea and have a proper direction as to what to do based on their career paths. It's something I truly, truly enjoy, and it's a passion. It's a passion for me to see the growth in other people as well as myself, because while speaking to people, I realize that, various situations make me learn as well from those situations. And so in a nutshell, that's basically who I am and what I do. I'm also currently running my master's education at the University of Hull in business management as well. So in between learning right now, I still provide such services to a lot of people. So yes, that's basically who I am, and I'm looking forward to learning more about everyone else here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Stanley. Stanley was our student council chairman that all the ladies liked. We had issues with that, but there's nothing we can really do. But now school is over, everything is getting balanced. So let me hear from Ivory. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name. I like to know how to pronounce names, so you can correct me before you go on to introduce yourself.
So hi everyone, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. A little faint, but we can.
Good evening, and thank you for the privilege, and special thanks to Ella that has bullied me down here. My name is Iveren Igba, a two-time Eagle from Covenant University. So I had my BSc in Industrial Relations and Human Resources, finished in 2014, had my MBA in Industrial Relations and Human Resources, and I finished last year from Covenant University. So over the last 9 years, done majorly HR. While doing HR, I've had the opportunity to work in customer experience, had the opportunity to work with the brand marketing team. I'm currently the chief of staff to the founder CEO at Booker Hot. That's me in a nutshell. Thank you.
Oh, book out. I have to message you after this. Looks like my lunch is going to be on you. What are you saying? Okay, thank you. So I want to hear from Mr. Aino Adebodun. Aino.
Hi, everyone. My name is Adebodun. I am currently a senior operations manager here at Amazon. I've been at Amazon now 3 years. I believe, yes, 3 years and counting. Before Amazon, I completed my MBA at Harvard. And before that, I worked 4 years as a management consultant with McKinsey & Company. And before that, I was in CU. So I graduated Covenant in 2014 with a civil engineering degree. That's me in a nutshell.
That's not a nutshell. There's no nutshell there. That's a lot. Oh, nice one. So Amazon, Harvard. I think I'm really loving the combination of everybody we have on the panel. I'm loving everybody we have on the panel, but this next person is my guy. So let me hear from Amasamis. I don't know how to pronounce your real name. That's why I'm saying Amasamis. I don't even know your real name. So Amasamis.
Hi everyone, good evening. Very nice to be here. I offer just they call myself Mr. Beck. It's easier. Well, my name is Michael Akinrokunde, but a bunch of people call me Amasamis mostly because of work. I graduated in 2015. Jesus Christ, I'm still unmarried at this age. I graduated in 2015. I studied mechanical engineering. I am not practicing mechanical engineering. I'm a filmmaker now.
You did make
yeah, 5
like
years.
mechanical engineering. Wow, that's serious.
Yeah, I'm a filmmaker now. Before filmmaking started full time, I did work in media and design space. I worked at Hope Foundation, Eagles Hope Foundation. That's the foundation arm of Governance University for my NYSC. Yeah, and then I think I just branched into filmmaking full time a couple months after that. That's me pretty much.
Oh, thank you. I can't still believe that you did mechanical engineering. I thought you did maybe science or English. I can't even imagine you doing engineering. I can't imagine you going to that building, trying to. What was that lecturer that gave you guys trouble?
I
no lecturer.
give me PTA.
Ah, I can't even imagine. So thanks everyone for the intro. Great to have everyone. I know Amazon, the chief of staff to the book. I will never even forget you. I eat a lot, so you're my friend now by force. Amasamis to Ivy. This is a full set, so we'll just go right into it. I'll just ask like simple questions. We go around. I'll call names. We go around, so everyone gets to talk and all. So the first question here is, in your own words, describe a good job opportunity. So let's start from Amasamis. What's a good job opportunity to you? You know, job opportunity is different from good job opportunity. So what's the good job opportunity to you?
Okay, so I think what would be safe for me is to respond in my career path. My industry is pretty different from many industries. Bodun works at Amazon. She's a consultant. Stan works in products and management. There's typically like set rules for what would serve as great job opportunities there. But in Nollywood and in filmmaking generally, number one, so there's two things that I consider personally: the prospects of the job, and of course the money that's coming from the job. Those are the two things that I consider. So I think a good job opportunity would be very defined individually. And when I say that, I mean what you want from your career. Yeah. So there's folks that in my industry just want to do a bunch of films and have, a lot of films in their catalog. And there's folks that are very particular about the kinds of films that their name and their, that's on their resume. So that's very dependent on what you want. So I think a great job opportunity will be something that most aligns with your personal vision for your career. So for me, it would definitely be, not just having a ton of projects, because you can have plenty nonsense and it won't really yield. It's important that there's prospects in terms of the grand vision of, doing film, not just in Nigeria, but across Africa. So that's what I would say good job opportunity is for me.
Thank you. So that means I'm hearing quality and like income than quantity. So like doing real things than doing those bulky movies. And I like the fact that we have someone in the creative space, it gives like a good balance to everything we're going to be saying today, because like the creative space is another sector that has like most of Eagles being active participant and doing great things. So it'd be good to hear someone from by the way, Amasamis directed our See You at 20 documentary, mind-blowing documentary. This guy's a big man. So like I respect Amasami so much. So
thank you.
I'll go to the big man from Amadu. What is a good job opportunity to you? I want to hear something fantastic from someone in the tech space.
I think the job opportunity, as we discussed, is going to be very personal and unique based on people's experiences. To me, when I consider job opportunities, I use certain criteria to determine if this job is worthwhile taking. I believe the first one is about just sort of like the skills that relates with the job. And more importantly, how does this tie with my grand career vision, right? So just thinking about you having a career aspiration of being a CEO and you going ahead to take a role that does not align with that, those sort of things often make conflicts, because overall, as we grow, what we're doing is building our resume to be able to get us to that next job. And so I'll say the first sort of thing that I think about is what are the skills required for that job, and does it match my career aspiration, taking me to where I want to go to? The second thing I also think about from a career perspective is exposure and opportunities. And so you could take a good job that could align with your career perspective, but exposure opportunities from that job may not necessarily be that much or great. So an example here will be you want to be a CFO, a finance person. You are trying to take a job at 2 different finance companies, right? It's the same role, right? Like as a finance manager, but one opportunity gives you more exposure to the sort of industry or the sort of clients that you want to talk to, so you want to interact with, versus the other one gives you less, or the company is not well known. And so that's the second criteria that I use to evaluate this, right? So the first one is about the skills and matching with career progression. The second one is about exposure and opportunity. And then the third one that I also go for, or I also look at, is what is the culture? What is the experience like in that organization? And now I'm talking from a, from a career perspective, or this is more for people who work like a sort of like a daily 9 to 5. Thinking about the culture in the organization. Does that organization tend to promote sort of like collaboration, team culture, team spirit? And is that what you are into? Or is that organization sort of like a cutthroat kind of organization? And depending on your preference, you can pick and choose which one you like. And so that's the second thing I use to, the third one I use to evaluate career opportunities as well. And I'll be honest with you, the fourth one I use is also the cash, the pay. So thinking about what sort of like sectors of industry will be able to give you that pay or compensation for your time or for your investment. I'm the kind of person who I don't know how to put anything less than 150% in anything I'm doing. And so if I'm doing that, I need to be compensated for my time, for my thinking, for my, for everything. I do need that compensation. And now a little caveat with compensation is you have to balance compensation and work-life balance, right? And so figuring out the sweet spot between the two, you can go extreme, you can go banking route where there's a lot of compensation, but there's not necessarily a lot of work-life balance. It's sort of like the organization. And so you understand that you're just making a lot of money to just keep having nice things that you don't use. Or you could go the middle round where you're still earning a lot of money and you still have work-life balance. So that work-life balance scale is not always the same for everybody. It depends on what works for you. And so I would say based on your skill, you should decide on what sort of like job opportunities that will work for you. So to recap, how you define a good job opportunity, the criteria that I use is one, the job skills and how does it align with my career aspiration. The second one that I think about is, sorry, I'm having a brain freeze right now. So how it aligns with the opportunity. I also think about the exposure. I think about the work culture. And finally, I also think about the financial compensation aspect.
Okay, thank you. I like the fact everybody's saying cash. Cash is very, 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 very important. Yeah, so I get from the grand scheme of things, how like your next job fits into your grand plan. I'm hearing exposure and opportunity, what the job is giving to you. I'm hearing culture of the organization. Is the culture fit right for you? Is that where you want to be? Then I'm hearing cash, like are you compensated for the time you're putting in the value? Then I'm hearing work-life balance, which is very, very important to me. So I will hear from Stanley. I know Stanley worked at, I think when we left school, Stanley worked at, I think AOO. So let me hear from Stanley. Stanley, what describe a good job opportunity to you? What are those factors you look at?
Okay. So for me, when I come across a job opportunity, there are various things that I love to look at, and I've been able to jot down some of these things, and I'll share. So one of it is alignment with your path. Before going into job search or getting into any role, you must have been able to define what your path is. For me, I'm a product manager. I would be going for jobs related very closely to product management, right? I've been able to come across several resumes, where people started off as customer service. They run customer service for say a year and a few months. Then they find themselves doing another role, let's say a project related role, say project management, right? And then after that role, they are going back into customer service again. It's a very, very, very undefined movement, right? So if you are getting a job opportunity, you must be able to define what your path is. Does this role align with my path? Does it align with what I truly, truly want to do, right? Secondly is the direction of the organization. Where is the organization going? What Adebodun said, the culture of the organization, basically, and also where the organization is going. What are their long-term goals? I don't know if we'll discuss that here today, but in interviews, when the interviewer asks you, do you have any questions for us? One of the very key things to ask is, what are the plans of the organization, say, in the next 2, 3, 5 years? And then if they're able to share as well, you should be able to decide for yourself if that's a path that you are willing to tow on. Is the company growing exponentially, or are they, moving at a very slow pace? So the direction of the organization is also very key, and it also defines how great a job opportunity is. Second, another point would be motivation from you. motivation goes both ways actually. So motivation from you would mean, are you willing to take up this new challenge? How challenging is it for you? Are you someone who loves to, take up new challenges, or is it something directly related to what you've done before? Is it something new? Would you love to take up the new challenge? And motivation from the organization as well, in terms of remuneration, in terms of the pay, which is very, very key, very, very key. I know that in Nigeria, as Nigerians, not in Nigeria, as Nigerians, it's the remuneration of a job is very, very key because it motivates you. There's no two ways about it. There's no sugarcoating. Money motivates. That's just it. So motivation from you, that is, are you willing to take up this challenge? Is it same as what you've done before? Is there something new attached to it? As well as motivation from the organization as well, that is in payment and benefits, as well as rewards when you perform well regarding your KPIs and those other things as well. Another point would be what other door does this job opportunity open for you? So if you work at a place, if you have, I don't know if everyone here might have noticed, but when tech people leave a particular organization, you find in their bio, let's say Twitter bio, X Amazon, X this one, X that one, because they want people who are looking into them currently to know that, oh yes, I have worked here before, and it means that I might have, experienced a lot of the things that you are expecting me to come experience at your company as well, right? So what other door does this job opportunity open for you? So all of these questions and research is personal research. Nobody's going to, do that for you. You have to find out by yourself. What other door does this company open up for you, right? I've been able to work at one organization. I won't mention the name. I worked at one organization, but while I was there, a couple of things, that was how I was able to understand what a great job opportunity is. And I was able to realize that I can't make the same mistake anymore. The direction of the company, the culture of the organization, how they hire, how they are choosing to grow, as well as, what other opportunity does this job open for me, right? Does this company have a great name in the industry in itself, basically? That's another point. Secondly is what you would, I keep saying secondly, I've mentioned so many points. Anyway, another point is what you would learn from that organization. Like I mentioned before, motivation in terms of challenge. Is this something very related to what you've done before? Is there an element of newness to what you'll be doing going forward? What are you going to learn? What are you going to gain from that organization? And I think one thing I've been learning so far in this period of running my master's as well and taking up some job interviews is that most of us think that interviewers are only interviewing us. We forget to interview the interviewers because we actually need to understand if that company is really great for you. What are you going to learn from their processes, right? You might have learned, I'll give a direct example. So I don't know if anybody on this call might have experienced it before, but product management in Nigeria is entirely so different with product management outside of Nigeria. I will give an example. For example, in Nigeria, they expect the product manager to conduct the user research. That's a good example. But in some other experienced companies and companies who have the resources, you find out that the product manager is focused more on the vision, focused more on the product vision and the strategy and, managing a lot of other things. And you have people who actually conduct the research for the product manager and bring those results for them to, analyze and decide on so many things. So what are you going to learn from the new process that you will be going into, right? What are you going to learn from that new company as well? You might have been practicing some way before, but the new existing practices in that new organization, is it going to add to what you know? Is it going to remove from what you know? It's just going to leave you at the same stage as well. And I think my last point would be what the job requires from you is slightly related to the taking up a new challenge. What does the job require from you? Do you think you can take up this job? What the job is requiring from that person in that role? would you be able to take it up, basically? So all of these points and many others, I know that many other people will share great points, but it constitutes the idea of what a great job opportunity would be. And you have to answer these questions for yourself. Nobody's going to, do that personal research for you. Yeah. So in a nutshell, basically, from my experience, that's basically, what a great opportunity is.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. I'm hearing alignment, I'm hearing motivation, I'm hearing opportunity, I'm hearing what the job is doing for you. I think I'm seeing like a pattern so far, but I'll let Ivory talk. Ivory is a chief of staff, so that's not a small HR position. So what is a good job opportunity for you?
Okay, so hi, thank you. I'll start with something that we heard constantly during our TMC class, to thyself be true. And I think that a good job opportunity, like Michael said when he spoke, is different for every person. So what I consider a good job opportunity for me will differ for what Emanuela or Ella considers a good job opportunity for her. I recall that before I started working paid employment, volunteering with Hope Foundation was a good job opportunity for me at that time, because what I just wanted at that time was to have HR, a foundation, and the HR experience on my resume. I did that a while. I moved to a HR consulting firm. What I wanted at that time was also to gather experience around consulting, now just to get paid, basically moving from volunteering to now being paid. I moved over to Booker Hut, and again, you will discover that what I consider a good job opportunity for myself keeps changing per time. At Booker Hut, work-life balance was good for me. The culture, great for me. Learning opportunities, great for me. I had my promotions per time. Consider that a good job opportunity. Now, I'm moving next month again into the fintech space. My reason for moving again is now my own. It's now my own specific. It's my definition of what a good job opportunity will be. So when I say to thyself be true, I also say that we should know why that good job opportunity, whatever you've considered your reason, or whatever you've designed as your good job opportunity, you should have a why as to why that thing is a good job opportunity for you. So I've heard Ainos speak, I've heard Stanley speak, and we've all bothered on different factors. And some of the factors are better job opportunities. Money is good for me. I love money. So whatever conversation I'm having with you, I want to know how much you're proposing to me net. And I also want to know what the benefits are. For some people, it's learning opportunities. For some people, it's a switch in industry or sector. For some people, it's a transition. So I'm doing HR. Maybe I want to build a career like Stanley in product management or something. It differs. For some people, it's that line manager that's always taking their ideas and presenting like it's his own, like the idea is from him. So a good job opportunity for them will be a culture where my voice is heard, a culture where I'm able to own my idea and someone isn't owning it for me. A good job opportunity would also mean that everyone probably knows why we're here. We're not having an overlap. So someone is cleaning today, or someone is responding to emails today. Tomorrow, another person is doing that same response to emails, like an overlap. So everyone's role is clearly defined. A good job opportunity could also mean job security. So I know people that have taken up government jobs and then they say, I beg, there's job security here. And also there's an opportunity for them to run their side hustles. So I would say in a nutshell, know why whatever you consider a good job opportunity to yourself is a good job opportunity, and ensure, because what you consider a good job opportunity, when you start, there are likely to be hurdles. And it's that why that is likely to sustain you on that journey. Thank you.
Thank you for that. That's a different angle. Explaining to us that the job opportunity that's good for you might not be good for another person. So when you're thinking about what is your good job opportunity, you should think deep and be specific about your needs at the particular time, which is very, very true. I would like to hear from Chizorum. Chizorum.
Daniela, please, or Chidi, anyone that's better for you.
Okay. Chidi.
Thank you.
Daniela Chidi. Daniela, what's your YouTube channel before we go on?
Okay,
Is this it?
that is it. Yeah, the Daniela Okwa.
Please, before we go on, please share, like, subscribe so that we can get followers and you can pay us. Please, let's hear what is a good job opportunity for you.
Thank you, Ebami, for adding the comical touch to this session. You know, career can seem a little very serious sometimes. So I would definitely echo what every speaker has said. For me, I would say that it is an opportunity that is best suited for a person's life skill set, you know, your skill set, your abilities, your goals, your future goals, and your life season. So I just want to emphasize on life seasons because everybody has talked about skills, you know, paycheck, career goals, excuse me. So I'm very purpose driven. I like to live my life, you know, knowing that I'm fulfilling the will of God for my life. And I feel like, you know, there is this tendency to make your career the top priority of your life, which in the end shouldn't be. For some people, you know, at the age of 60, 50, they have to retire and they are wondering what was my life about? So what this can look like is either a good pay, either, you know, the right exposure, like we have said. Another thing I would emphasize on is that job opportunity must give me the right exposure. It must also provide problem-solving opportunities for me. So I am the kind of person that cannot, I don't know if I can work a regular government job because it's just not that challenging for me, depending on the industry or parastatal anyways. So I really want to know that this job opportunity provides, you know, problem-solving opportunities for me. So that means it's either in terms of, you know, the plans that they have in the next season, especially for someone in marketing communications. I want to know your plans. I want to know where the brand wants to be in a couple of years. How can I, you know, lend my skill set and my voice and my energy towards building that organization? Why this is important for you is because these problem-solving opportunities form your victory stories. This is what you would use to say, this is how I serve. This is your resume, literally. You don't want an organization that is very complacent, just come, go, nothing new, no opportunity for learning. Another thing I would emphasize on is your life season. So like I said, depending on where you are per time, for instance, I'm a mom, right? And depending on my goals and my seasons, if I just had a baby, a good opportunity would not be one that doesn't afford me time or one that doesn't have proper adequate maternity leave. So you want to be sure that their structure, you know, their benefits, the compensation matches your interest per time. Another one for me would be because of, you know, the peculiarity of my family, I can't afford to travel every other day. So for someone else, just like Ivarian said, depending on your season, depending on who you are, what is great to you would differ. So just to thyself be true, know yourself, understand the season that you are, and then pick what is best for you in that season.
I mean, there's a lot of people, I don't know the right thing. Jams, there are a lot of great words dropping here. I myself, I am getting inspired. It's just that I'm looking at this from another angle. Yeah. So I own my company. So it's interesting to hear this from the other side because it's giving me a good angle to making sure the opportunities I put in my company fits into the persons I want, and it's helping me position my job in a juicy way. So when I want to get talent, it allows me merge these factors you mentioned to the factors I will highlight when I'm getting talents. Like an example, the opportunities you said, making sure I'm fixing opportunities in the company that is growing. Someone said something about culture fits where the voice needs to be heard. So I mean, as a company owner, this is even more interesting for me. It's like everyone is dropping expo for me, which is very good. Thank you very much. So I'll go to the next thing. Now, this, because we want to make sure we're very timely, so we might need to take this very fast. Then, by the way, if you have questions, you can write down your questions, send to Abiye on the group, or you can drop it on the chat. I'll make sure I pick them. You have questions as we're going on. Yeah, I have questions already. I'm taking note of them. So next thing we're going to go to now is tips to positioning yourself for a good job opportunity. I mean, now we've talked about what you think looks like a good job opportunity for you from all different angles. Now, it is now left to you. What are the tips, yeah, to position yourself for a good job opportunity? What should I do to make sure I get a good job opportunity? How should I position myself? How should I sit down? How should I smile in the picture? All manner of things. What should my CV say? Because I said I'm a company owner too. So what Stanley says is very important. Sometimes I see some CVs that you started as customer support, you move to product associate. Next thing you are doing customer success. The next thing you are doing finance associate. I'm like, I don't really think I want to employ anyone that doesn't have an established path. So what are the tips you think people should have when they are positioning themselves for good job opportunities? Let me do mini money more. Daniela. Let's go. Tips for good job opportunity, basically.
Okay, so I'm just going to be sharing tips based on my experience, just making it very practical for us. I'll start by saying evaluate. In terms of positioning yourself for a good job opportunity, you need to evaluate yourself. I always talk about being true to yourself, being brutally honest with yourself. So you want to ask questions like, am I really ready for a good opportunity? Am I really ready for the next level? Am I ready for more work? Because the next level or a better opportunity would definitely come with more work. Am I ready for leadership? So if you're in 2019 set or 2014 flights, of course, by now you should be thinking of mid-level leadership or even senior, level leadership. Am I also ready to take rejection? Am I ready to put myself out there, try and get rejected? Am I qualified? Really, do my skill sets match the next level, the next opportunity? So if I want to work in Amazon, right, like Bodun, and I have no skills in the field, I'm going to, and I just really like Amazon because I'm going to be earning in dollars and it's good exposure, but do I really qualify? And just be honest with why do you want that opportunity? Once you've evaluated and established that, and you've made sure that your intent is pure, then you want to be clear on your goal and destination. So you have to look at your career as this big picture that's broken down into phases, right? So if you want to get to being maybe a DG one day, you want to think about how the bits and pieces of the puzzle fit together and what stage you are in or what number of puzzle or where are you going to be fitting in. So for instance, on a scale of 1 to 10, you want to get to 10 and you've seen that right now, I'm in level 3. So what are the qualifications for level 3? Maybe you must have had a professional qualification or you must have done your master's and things like that. So you want to be clear on your goal and your destination and then fit your plans into it. Another thing I would say is know your value proposition. So you must always be value centered. I don't know if it was Stanley that spoke about these organizations actually, whilst you want a better opportunity, they are looking for value. So what's your value add? And this is in terms of your technical work, your talents and abilities. I can't emphasize the importance of talents and abilities in terms of positioning for a better opportunity, especially in my field. It's a creative space, communication and marketing. You can't afford not to know almost everything about your industry and even a bit more, right? What are your soft skills? Can you speak if you're leaning into a managerial position and you have to represent the company, are you equipped to do that? And then also, what is your industry value? So I want to talk about this and then lead me to my next point, which is benchmarking. Sometimes we compare ourselves with people within our sphere, like our team or our organization, and then that might not be a fair comparison for you to build or to position yourself, because then again, I'll give you an example. I was in this organization where I had finally, like I told you, I had done a couple of jobs, different jobs, and I finally got my dream job, which was, being a communications associate. And then in my team, it seemed like, we're about 8 in the team, and everybody was just living on vibes, a few qualifications here and there, but nobody was certified professionally. And if I was to go by that, or looking at my team lead to say, oh, this is the yardstick, I probably would have grown in my career. So you want to think about your career, as the world as your oyster. You don't want to limit yourself to the skill set you can see within your organization. So benchmark against industry standards. Once you do that and you find where you are, then upskill. Do you need to take a course? Do you need to, and when I say upskill, I don't mean just doing a master's. I mean, you want to, whilst there are these requirements for the job, you want to also upskill in areas that gives you actual skills for your job, hands-on tools that you can use to improve on your job. The next point I would say in positioning yourself is then mastering it. So someone once said that the most knowledgeable person in the room, or the master in the room, is usually the leader, irrespective of the head of department or whoever is there. And I tend to agree, because whoever has the answers usually gets, consulted for solutions. So you want to ask yourself, am I a master? Like, can I run an organization based on my knowledge on this industry? Because, if you focus on CV, positioning, and branding, I'm going to get to branding. If you focus solely on that, you find out that you are an empty gong. So you are a resounding container. There's nothing inside. You eventually, man over. In fact, you'll probably be a fraud if you don't have skill enough for that place you're going to. And you either might not get the opportunity, or when you get there, you're going to wish you never got there because you're going to flop. So I think we need to focus on mastery, like draw up a roadmap. What are the components of my career path that I don't know? Where am I strongest at? Where am I weakest at? How can I grow in that sphere? And what mastery will do for you is that it also pushes you up forward. I remember when I joined this team and I started off as a customer relations executive, and I didn't like my job because they put me at the front desk, and I felt like this was a waste of my skills and my talents. And after some time, I went up to my line manager to say, look, I can do more for this organization. But I wanted to be in communications team, but there was no vacancy, and they put me in real estate investment advisory. And I mastered the art of selling. Like, I closed sales worth over almost $1 billion in sales, right? Because wherever you are in, you must master. And then because they saw my dedication and my mastery, and through that, I was able to do presentations, my other skill sets started to shine. And that was how I was able to transition into my current career path. So the final one I would say is, once you have gained mastery, you want to ensure that you are building a personal brand internally and externally. So you want to make sure that your line manager, your team, they understand your value, you communicate it to them, you document your wins on a monthly basis, you communicate it quarterly, and just make sure that you're visible enough to attract the right people. And finally, I would say, please focus on relationship building. 3 of the biggest opportunities I've gotten were from referrals. And that's because I don't try to burn bridges. I don't join cliques along my career path. Like, if you guys have a clique, that's fine. Mine is to do my job and ensure that I'm building a good network of people that have worked with, people who can speak for me in the future, people who can recommend me, people that I can reach out to afterwards with no bad blood and still get the job done and collaborate with in the future. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I mean, I've heard a lot of things. In short, I don't know what's going to happen to me after this section. Maybe I will just start looking for a job, because it looks like I'm going to be so ready to take anybody's job after this. Stanley, what are the tips? I mean, Stanley, I was opportunity to be Stanley's friend at the beginning of his career, and I remember when we were coming back from Edo State. That's where we did our NYSC, and Stanley got a mail that's from the Softcom guys to come to work there. And I saw Stanley's face lit up. I'm like, oh, shit. this guy is now a big tech bro, and we just finished like NYSC that time. So Stanley, what I know you even do like CV review, you do like corporate profile review and all of those things. And I see a couple of very brilliant feedbacks from persons you've done review for, saying, oh, like the optimization of the CV, the LinkedIn got like great opportunities for them. So I'm sure this one is going to be your best question. What are the tips? Yeah, what tips do I actually need to take, like position myself for the good job opportunity that I really want?
Okay. So I have three things I would speak on. We can start with, okay, there are four actually, because we can start with networking. I vividly remember that story about when we're coming back from Edo State. I remember telling you that this one I'm going back to Lagos. I don't have any job there that because I had not gotten that email at that time. So when that email came, it was a very big breakthrough for me as well. So it was a product of networking, basically, speaking to someone who was able to introduce me to someone who, gave me that opportunity to start my career, basically. It was a case of, finding out from someone, do you know any place I could, do my NYSC at this time? And the person said, oh, yes, there's a place, Softcom might be hiring or they might be open. Speak to this person, send an email to this person, tell them what you can do, and, see how it happens, basically. So, and that's like one of the littlest forms of networking. Networking is really broad. You have to be more intentional about it. If it's to be attending webinars or seminars that, where people who are of like minds meet, it will be a great importance for you to be a big part of that. Another style of networking would be being part of communities. As a product manager, I'm a part of Product Dive. Product Dive is a product school in Lagos. I'm also a part of People in Product. That's another product community of product managers. It just gives you the opportunity to be in that space of people who are like you. They share job opportunities, they share opinions, they share ideas about product management that you can learn from, and then you can also impacting people as well. So networking is really broad and is really important in strategizing for positioning yourself for a job opportunity in itself. Another point would be having a winning resume. So I usually tell people that your CV doesn't get you the job. Your CV gets you to the door where you can have a conversation about what you can do, right? And you being able to defend what is on your resume is what gets you the job. So being able to communicate all that you have done over the last amount of years, what you have achieved in all of these organizations, and the skill set that you have, being able to communicate all of them directly and very straightforward for people to understand in a 2-page document is very, very important. A winning resume gets you that opportunity to speak with someone who wants to know more about what you do. To be honest, I've seen a couple of CVs. I've seen a couple of CVs, and I'm happy to be in this path, because for me, I feel so fulfilled when someone comes back to me and says, oh, I really thank you so much. This CV was able to get me through to an interview. I was able to speak with people, and yeah, I'm waiting on feedback, or I've gotten the job. It's a big fulfillment for me, right? So a winning resume is very, 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 very important. Very, very important in strategizing and positioning yourself for a job opportunity. So I'll give an example. If you are specializing in project management, you might have, let's say you have worked in just one organization where you have been centered on just project management, and all your other experiences might not have been, very directly related to project management, it's very possible for you to highlight points from those organizations where you didn't really work directly in project management. You can highlight some points there that can, just shed more light on you being a part of a project, right? Just relate it more to that path. Your resume needs to communicate you as someone who is very, very much interested in project management, taking up that role and taking up that path in itself. Your resume must communicate you, must communicate what you have done, must communicate what you can do. It must also communicate the skill sets that you are bringing to that organization as well. Another key thing on your resume should be what you have done to improve yourself professionally. So it goes beyond having your BSc, having an MBA or an MSc. What other, online courses, what other, publications or, trainings have you taken to improve on yourself? Organizations want to see that you are doing a lot more to improve yourself, basically. So a winning resume, it's a very large topic that we need to, talk more on another day. But a winning resume is very, very key. It gets you to the door where you can, have a conversation and defend more about what you can do. Another point would be your online branding. What do people know you for, right? And a big part of how you can push your online brand is through LinkedIn in the career space in itself. On LinkedIn, you must be able to, everything that's on your resume, just communicate it in a different way on your LinkedIn, basically, so that people, I don't know, for everyone that's been here, if you have gone through job search, you might find out that when you throw in an application for a job, if you check your LinkedIn profile, maybe LinkedIn gives you a notification, so XYZ viewed your LinkedIn profile, you will actually find that someone from that organization that you applied to literally just viewed your profile. Immediately you drop the application, or maybe it's 2 days later, it happens. So they really want to see that what you have on your CV is what your personal brand is preaching as well. All right. So your online brand is totally important. LinkedIn is a very powerful tool in, getting job opportunities, and which leads me to my last point about talking about what you do. We all know that nobody's going to blow your trumpet for you if you are not going to speak up about what you know, speak up about what you do. Nobody will discover you. Nobody would know more about you. I understand that some people might be shy. I also understand that LinkedIn can be a very, some people we call it a depressing social media, a depressing social media app where, you see a lot of stories, you see a lot of, maybe things might not be going so well for you, and you're scrolling and you're seeing people are doing great things. Yeah, I mean, it's a call to wake up. It's a call to wake up for you to, start talking more about what you do, about what you know, about what you can do, about what organizations should expect from you, basically. Just talk more about your field, talk more about what you're researching on. So for example, as a product manager, I can even go as far as, talking more about, just breaking down product management into various parts and choosing to talk about one part. Okay, this week I'll talk about user stories. Who should write user stories? Next week I'll talk about backlog grooming. I will talk about agile methodology. Just breaking it down and being able to just talk about something. Talk about what you do. If you don't blow your trumpet, nobody is going to, is going to know you. So all of these key things are very, very key. Networking, being able to socialize amongst your career people, have a winning resume, your online branding, that is through LinkedIn, and talk about what you do. Online branding can also be through other social media accounts. It could be Instagram, it could also be Twitter, it could be Facebook, it could be WhatsApp, anyone. Just have an idea of what you want people to see you for. Yes, what do people know you as, basically? For for Michael on here, everyone knows him as a film director or filmmaker. I stand to be corrected. I don't know which is which, but he's in film. He's in filmmaking basically, and everybody knows him for that basically. And that is very clear. You don't need to start asking so much questions. You just need to ask specific questions into what he can do for you in itself. So these 4 things are very, very key. Network. Always have your resume ready. You can't, someone asks you for your resume and you say you want to prep it. Your resume should always be ready. Always be ready. And one very key tip is, you can't use one resume to shoot out multiple job applications. You must tailor your resume to each job application. There are certain keywords that organizations are looking out for. Everyone here knows much about the ATS. ATS is a system that organizations use to filter out, CVs that don't necessarily match to what they are looking for. So you must be able to tailor your CV towards that job application, right? You can be applying for 2 product management roles, but both of them have different keywords and they are looking out for different things. So you must be able to tailor all of them. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's basically how I think one can, strategize for a good opportunity. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm getting memo from my guys that time is going so that they don't sack me from my likely duties. So I'll just quickly take I know that'll be a quick one. They will take Ivory. Before we ask the last question, okay, let's do it like this. Let me ask the last question and combination of these questions to Aino. So Aino, tips for positioning yourself and one personal experience that changed your career. So we can do that at once. You and Ivy can do that at once. Then we'll use that to close the section. I know, yeah. Oh, I can see. I can see my set people here. I can see Stanley's girlfriend to come to support. That's cute. I can see my CFO. Oh, I know it's not here. So let's take from Ivy. Ivy, just tips to position yourself for a good job opportunity and one personal experience that changed your career. Just merge that together so we end the section real quick. I mean, this has been a very impactful section. I'm happy to hear from Ivy because she's in the food space and she's telling me I'm going to be getting free lunch. So let's hear from you.
So thank you, Ayobami. I'm riding on what other speakers have said, and a common factor is intentionality. So positioning yourself for a good job opportunity will personally, and from my experience, would say intentionality. I don't know how it applies in other organizations, but every role has a profile. So when a recruiter puts out puts out an opening, there is, outside of the skill set, there is also the culture fit that they are looking out for. So if I say, for example, I want to join Amazon, what kind of people would Amazon be on the lookout for? Dependent on the role to what kind of skill set, what competencies do I need to build to be able to be a part of the organization? Outside of intentionality, I said intentionality is the bedrock. So building a profile, skill set that matches whatever role organization you want to be a part of. Attending career fairs. I know that while we were in CU had lots of career fairs for us. And I even know that as an undergraduate, I started getting job opportunities, which I never took, of course, but attend career fairs. I would say intern, I would say volunteer. I remember that at the start of this, I mentioned how I started volunteering with Hope Foundation because I wanted to have at least an understanding or even an introduction into the HR space. I would say gather knowledge. I would say learn transferable skills that are necessary or relevant beyond where you are at that point in time. I would say get a coach or get a mentor, someone that has walked that path that you intend to walk. Just someone to guide you through and through. I would say attend conferences. I would say build meaningful relationships. So over time, as a HR professional, you have people reach out to you to say, please, I'm looking for a job. And in the real sense, there are lots of people also reaching out to you to say, I need a job. For someone wanting to position themselves for a next step, I would say do not build parasitic relationships. Build relationships that add value so that when those opportunities come, the person remembers you to say, oh, this person told me they needed this opportunity and are able to forward to you. I would also say be open. A number of the opportunities I've gotten have come from relationships that I could be vulnerable to say, I'm looking to switch, and then this person knows, not that I'm faking it when I need a next level. So I would say build relationships, healthy relationships that you can be vulnerable and express yourself. For your next question, you asked on a personal experience that changed my career. I would say my foundation. My foundation in terms of coming from CU, but I would also say the relationships I had immediately after school. So I know that when I just finished school, I struggled a lot with some level of insecurity. And I remember that one of my friends at that time, I had a conversation with, and he just challenged me to say, Ivy, how are you thinking of this kind of thing? Remember that as you go through the ranks, as you need opportunities or as you go after opportunities, if you do not know who you are, if you do not believe in yourself, you will keep, that's why you mentioned that you're having CVs that somebody is saying product, the other time the person is saying customer experience, the next time the person is saying HR. You would keep doing different things per time. But I would say that having to work with people that were smarter than me, people that were older than me, people that were a lot kind, helped set the foundation for me. So when I left my first job to move to Booker Hut as a HR officer, I moved from being a HR officer. In less than 3 months, I had the next offer at me for a higher role, but I turned it down because I felt I wasn't prepared for that next level. But again, over time, I used that period to say, I want to grow myself. I want to learn. I want to develop myself. Remember the profile thing we spoke about? I used that period to say, to build certain capabilities as a person. So I moved from being a HR officer to a HR business partner or HR manager, and then now the chief of staff. And I realized that the experiences in terms of being able to manage my emotions, in terms of leadership, in terms of being uncomfortable in rooms where everybody probably was smarter than me, because I know that Hope gave me the opportunity to meet people that I'm not sure that at that point in my career, I would have had the opportunity to be in rooms with them. So I would say that the foundation, basically the beginning after school laid a very solid foundation for me to be able to start my career. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief of Staff. I'm looking for you to be staff to President soon. I'm running 2027, so I might need a Chief of Staff then. So you ready? Or you won't work with me? You won't work with me?
When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it.
Yeah. Thanks to hear from I'm a psalmist. Now you're in the creative space, so how do you position yourself for that blockbuster movie, that skyrocketing movie that puts you like on the global map? How do you position yourself as a creative? Then one experience that turned like your career around. So let me hear from Mama Samis. Then let me hear from Mama Samis first.
Okay, because of time, I'm just going to make it as fast as possible. So I have three things that I think are the most important things in my career and industry. The first thing would be top of mind awareness. I think this is regular in many industries, but especially for media slash entertainment. If they don't know your name, nobody will call you for work. It's simply how it works. Um, Typically people will say do stuff and stay visible and stay visible, and people just throw that word visibility everywhere. But I think what's even more important is who are you visible to. I was talking to a friend that's a marketing manager at a fintech company, and I was sharing with her that how come I don't see a lot of their team. Yeah, I was looking for work. I was like, I want to use people's TVC. How come I don't see a lot of their TVCs, and adverts on the general platforms? But then for some reason, or for a fact, I know that they are always busy and always working. And she was like, their marketing is very targeted to their actual product users. And so I just learned from that it's not just by being everywhere. You also need to be very, very intentional about where you are visible or who you are visible to. That's the first thing. The second thing is talk. See, the thing with positioning is you can be in a position where you can be in a position that's going to change your career for a long time, and you wouldn't get that career change or that next level without asking for what you want. It's very important to kill shyness or kill imposter syndrome and actually talk and ask for what you want. You never know how much you can get if you don't ask for it. Many times, especially in my earlier career years, I think the thing that helped me the most is I was never too shy to ask for plenty money in quotes. And that's the thing that I see many, first-time directors, many filmmakers, many creatives struggle with. You know that what your worth is this, but for some reason you are scared to ask for it. Like the most that you would get is a no. You have to open your mouth and talk to get into certain positions. The last thing I would say would be attitude. Across industries, especially in Nollywood, people hire more for attitude and skill, because for many jobs the work is already hard enough. You don't now want to be doing it with people that make it even harder. So many jobs that we get, especially for returning clients, so I'm saying returning clients now because film making is one part, but I also run a production outfit where we do like productions like TVCs, documentaries, and all of that kind of stuff. You have to have a great working relationship and attitude. I think we probably get 75 to 80% of work from retainers than just like new clients, and simply because we're in a position where the clients trust us enough to have a great attitude to their projects. So those are the three things I'll share as regards tips on great positioning. For an experience that changed my career, wow, I think the most significant one that I can share here would be what? Hello?
Apology, just go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I think the
Just go
most
ahead,
significant
apologies.
one I think the most significant one I can share would be mentorship. A couple years back, I shot a mentorship shot in quotes. It wasn't a direct shot, it's something I did over time. Just like being in the person's face, supporting where I could. And then I got my first opportunity to work with her. And just that relationship has opened a lot more doors. And so the thing with mentorship is if you do have a mentor that's proud of you, there's a trust that other clients, especially in film, and I'm sure in other industries, and so there's a trust that your mentor would speak of you, that would have other clients just trust you to handle their work, even though they've never worked with you. So I know that I've gotten a lot of opportunities, a lot of doors, a lot of projects, simply because I have an affiliation with my mentor. So yeah, that's a strong personal experience that's shaped my career.
Okay, thank you very much. I mean, I don't even know where to start from. Thanks a lot. I mean, the price thing is a very serious thing. I'm in the creative space, and trust me, you know how these brands can be. Sometimes they price you like you're the pricing Ugu and Egusi in the market. Yeah, but like sometimes it's good to know your value. Yeah, it's good to know your value. So I'll let Stanley tell us one experience and Shizzy in one minute. Then we round up. I hand over to ABA. They round up our section. I want to make sure this section is in past 8:20 maximum, 8:25 last. So Stanley, quickly, one personal experience in your career that changed things for you. Then Shizzy, one personal experience that changed things for you.
Okay. To be honest, I think it was a decision to, not run with what I studied in school. I studied banking and finance in school, and I was really I was anxious about, coming out and, not having so much opportunities because of the kind of country where we were at. So I decided to, go on a personal research to kind of understand what paths I could, delve into and be able to make out a life for myself. So if we all know all those, those commercial banks that we have in Kenaland, UBA, EcoBank, and the likes. So what I did one of those days was, I went out of, of the school into Kenaland. So, kind of speak to those bankers and hear from them what they think a fresh graduate like myself should do regarding, starting a career in banking. And to be honest, the responses that I got were not, they were not interesting responses. One really said, don't do it. And it kind of made me more inquisitive and curious as to what else I could possibly do. That personal research, speaking to those bankers out there, was a changing point for me, because that's just one changing point. Just knowing that, okay, what I studied, I'm not exactly interested in, going into it. Then I decided to, do more research, find out what I could do, what industries I could play with, and what career path I could play with as well. And yeah, I was able to find myself into product management. I was able to get a scholarship to, study, to take a training in product management as well. It was a very, very, defining period for me. And I would never regret, going on that personal research, basically. I would never regret it. It's opened my eyes to see other things and see other industries that I could actually play with. Yeah. So in a nutshell, that's basically my experience.
Hi, Cheesy. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you now.
Okay, awesome. So what I would say is I'll share an experience that I like to share because it really defined my career. It was in 2015. I had just, finished NYSC, and then I, got this job. After I got the job, I quit the job after 4 months for some reason. And I just thought that, look, afterwards, everything's going to be fine. I get a new job, but that didn't happen for 8 months. So the point of the story is, if something is not working, right, is if visibility and positioning is not working, try something else. And so what I started doing was, I had this friend who was conversing with certain organizations who were doing great in Abuja, in the city I was living in. And he just sent me a list of organizations, and I decided to start walking into them and knocking on their doors, asking who I can speak to. And I would dress up, look good, do my research and ask to see the CEO. I got turned down a couple of times, but I got to see the CEO in one of the organizations, and that's how I got the job. In fact, on that day, something funny happened. there was this lady who had seen me and said she wanted me to mentor her. She didn't, and then by the time I resumed at the office, she was shocked, like, wait, she felt like deleting her text message to me asking me to mentor her, not knowing that I was coming to resume at the same level as she was. But that goes to say that when you know your value, don't be afraid to communicate it. If you are trying LinkedIn, you have been, trying to be visible, you've tried networking, what's something different that you can try? I would always say go for low hanging fruits, right? If you wanted to work in the Big Four and then the Big Fours are not coming, or you want to transition into international development, you want to work in the UN and you're just not getting picked. How about you look for a smaller organization that you can easily reach? Start from there, and then that experience or those experiences will help position you for your goals and the future. So yeah, that would be it. Thank you.
Thank you. Shizzy. Thanks a lot. Thanks for that. So this is the part where we take our official time. We have someone from Moringa. His name is Enoch. He's going to be talking to us. But before Enoch comes to speak to us, yeah, we have like the mentee program going up. Awesome program. We have great mentors trying to like nurture guys that want to be mentored. So we have the link in the chat. If you want to be a mentee, I'm sure a couple of persons here on the panel have said how it is important for you to have persons you can look up to in the progress. Like I mean, that's something I'm really working on, like getting a very good mentor. I mean, the number one mentor that I have now is so far from me, but I really watch his steps before I take anything concerning my business, my investment, my time, a couple of things. So I mean, it's going to be great to have a mentor. So you can fill in the link there. And if you have feedback for us, the alumni community, we are welcome. We love feedback so much. I mean, we're literally, oh, my video is not on. No. We're literally here to make sure we serve everybody in the community. So we love feedbacks. We live on feedbacks. We want to make sure everyone is engaged, everyone is part of this beautiful community we are building. We're over 20K. So I mean, our community is so large. So feedback on this event too. If you want the event to be better, or you think we did well, you are looking at a particular topic, you want the career sections to go a particular way, welcome to that. So I'll leave the floor to Enoch from Moringa before we go on to taking our question and answer very, very fast before we close this beautiful section, so I can go back to my book and bury my head in all the things I go from the section. So Enoch, please, we have the floor.
Thank you so much, Ayobami. It's a pleasure to be here with everyone. I'm really going to keep the time. So I know that the amazing talents who have spoken so far have talked about taking advantage of opportunities. So, the team had invited me to just share one with you. Permit me to just take a second to just appreciate, I know she's absent, but just to appreciate the DSA, for being graceful, enough to help facilitate our conversations, and then also appreciate the executive of the alumni network. Really appreciate you for giving us this opportunity. So my name is Enoch, Enoch Afolabi, and I head growth for Moringa School. I like to say that Moringa School has been an important part of the tech ecosystem for the past 8 years, specifically because we have helped with the facilitation and transition of over 5,000 engineers across Africa to start their path in tech anyways. And because we are very much outcomes driven, and by outcomes, we mean the results of what the learning experience was for them. We have designed different systems over the years that have helped us, achieve the placement rate of about 75% of our alumni into various forms of jobs within 6 months to 12 months rather, of completing their training with us. In order for me to just communicate a little bit more, I'm going to share my screen so that I would play a video for you to see. After the video, I'll just talk about the opportunity. Oh, there. Okay, you'll pardon me. I think, oh yeah, it came up. It went into hiding.
Okay, so we can most likely share the video with the. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. The video is actually part of what I need to say, so that's all.
As a software engineer.
So I'm just want to play a video, and I want you to just listen to the conversation. And the opportunity basically is for those who are interested in actually a path in software engineering. But then if you also know somebody who would like to take advantage of an opportunity like that, you can also listen to just hear what the engineer said.
So my name is Odero Oluoch. I work as a software engineer at Andela, Kenya. My day-to-day entails configurations in the M-Pesa systems. I had tried self-learning outside of Moringa School, which was really frustrating, but then you'd get stuck and you'd not have someone to console. The program gives you a well-curated set of content. You know where to start, you know how to.
We can't hear the video. Can we share the video or the link to the video with everyone much later with, via newsletter? We'll need to wrap up now. So just send the link to us. Yeah, just send the link to, send the link to us, and then you share the, the video with everyone.
Right,
much later.
About
what
that,
kind of
I think I didn't share my audio. Anyway, so basically what we're just talking about today is for those who would like to get started on a path to becoming software engineers, I would typically like the opportunity to get an environment where they can have structured learning, and do not want to bother about the cost of facilitating an international learning experience. We have the Learn Now, Pay Later program, particularly set for us to identify those talents who really want to build a career path. And we can get on this collaborative investment stage where we as an institution, work with the engineering enthusiasts and begin their journey. And so basically what it is, you get started on the training, you complete the training, and then you only begin to pay back the fees when you get a job. And the journey to getting a job is a supportive journey for us as well. And then for those who would typically, our own criteria for those who may appreciate this program and those who want to switch their careers to software engineering, or just wanted to explore the technical expertise. And then the competencies we're training full stack engineering. I know you can see the screen, but I'll still also share the link for you to also go through this website. For the entire journey, what is required for you at the end of the day is to be able to show your ability to understand technical concepts, of which all you need to do is just click apply for the program, and then you walk through the short form that does a simple assessment, and then we test your eligibility for the program. And finally, the last stage that is required for you is the entire tuition is a 1.6 million for the facilitation. But this is spread over a repayment period of 4 years. So basically what the value for this is, it's not an education loan. It's an income sharing agreement. So basically it means that when you do not have a job, your repayment is actually paused. It's only when you have a job that you continue to do the payments. And that also allows you to have that continuous relationship that we have in the entire supportive journey. But we have the hopes that you would be, over the 4 years repayment period, you will be able to sustain your employment throughout the period. And then you can also pay back earlier, earlier than that. So the only thing to this is there is a caveat for a commitment fee, just 90,720K. This is just for us to be able to have interested persons show the level of commitment to the entire journey, aside from showing their competencies. And then we just facilitate the entire journey, for the learners. So I will just be dropping the link for you if you think you're interested or someone who is interested in the opportunity. You can go ahead and just do the application. And then if you also have any other questions, people will be able to, the admissions team will be able to answer them for you. Okay. Thank you so much again to the executive team for giving us the opportunity to do this.
Thank you, Mr. Enoch. So if I'm trying to pivot to being front-end engineer, I know where to start my journey from. I just hope it's not too late. Thanks for that. Yeah, I mean, I did MIS and we did about 6 programming languages. And trust me, I can't do nothing. I don't know how to code. The only thing I know how to do is make money, business. Yeah. So I'm just going to stay that way. But maybe I change my mind. Yeah, I'll come there and try to be a very good engineer. I can't sit and code for so long. I envy engineers so much. They're very good guys. Sit, code for so long and all of these things. I can't do it. It's not my calling. I want to thank everyone for coming to our meetup. Please drop your questions. You can drop your questions for us. Then we would share to the speakers. Then we respond to you. Thanks to Stanley for coming on. Thanks to Chief for coming on. Thanks to Ivy. Thanks to Aino. Thanks to Amasamis. This was an explosive section. Yeah, I am a company owner and I'm even feeling this excited. So I'm imagining if I was looking for a job, how more excited I'm going to be with all the gems and all the deals that's been provided in this section. Thanks for coming on this section. Really appreciate the alumni community, from the president down to everybody, is really appreciative of giving your time to this good cause, for sharing your beautiful insights and stories. Really appreciate. And this is like an open call for everyone here. Please and please and please don't stop engaging the alumni community. Don't stop opening our newsletters. Don't stop engaging our Instagram posts, our Facebook. Don't stop talking on your set group. Don't stop talking on our micro community group. We have chapters, we have micro communities, we have CU group for travel, for single, for mothers, for business owners. Any micro communities you are, please don't stop engaging. Your engagement is very critical to us. And one more thing I always tell to persons, try to locate the nearest Igu to you. I mean, we're a big family, so there's one Igu next to you. Make sure you build a solid relationship with Igu next to you. On this note, last thing, our mentees, if you want to be a mentee to a mentor, I mean, I really wish I could reel out the names of the mentors. Very beautiful. I think I'm even going to apply myself. Very beautiful persons that have done so much well. They're so great for themselves, are going to be our mentor. So apply to be a mentee, to be mentored by great persons. On this note, they asked us to do one thing, very, very important. So we're supposed to take like a selfie or a picture. Maybe I'm not sure how to do it. This is the report card I'm giving to my president.
It's just a minute.
Okay, sorry.
He has announcement to make. He has a few announcements to make.
Oh, who has an announcement to make?
Abiye has a few announcements.
Okay, yes. Abiye, please, your announcement, then we can take our picture.
Take the picture and then we close.
Yeah.
All right, hello everyone, and I personally want to say thank you so much to everyone who has spoken. And I mean, I know a few of you here too. Michael, I haven't seen you for a while. Chizzy and Ivan were in my college, so familiar faces. Thank you so much for everything that, every advice you've given us. So I have 3 announcements here. The first is that for the 2014 Light Set, we are going to be having a town hall meeting shortly. It's going to be, please expect it. Don't sleep on it. It's going to be in the next few months. And we're going to have quali elections for the 2014 and the 2019 flights. So please, I would encourage you. This platform is a wonderful platform. It's helped so many people. I've seen many people give, testimonies on this platform concerning what it has done for them. So please, I would advise you guys to encourage people to come out and vote, and as well nominate good candidates. Please don't just bring anyone from anywhere, but make sure the person you're voting for is somebody who has capacity, who has character. I mean, we're all Eagles here, I believe. So there are certain values we're looking for so that they would accurately represent your sets, well, our sets, and also accurately do the jobs that are meant for them to do. And then finally, we have a business owners meet and greet, first in Lagos and then in Abuja. So of course, those of you who are in these two places, you can begin to plan to attend. The details also will be communicated shortly. There are just a few things to finally deal with. So please make sure that if you own a business, I mean, look at what everyone has said here. These are very good gems which can be communicated during these meetings. So if you're starting a business, if you have one already, if you have more plans, please just make sure you make it there so that you find, you never know what one conversation can do for your business. I personally have seen people who have had this dramatic changes in their lives just by meeting one person for about 5 minutes. So please make sure, even if it's not for you, but make sure one or two of your friends who own businesses are able to come. So yeah, that's it for the announcement. I'll go back to Ayobami.
Thanks, Abi. I'd like to reemphasize something. The election is very, very important. Please participate and nominate. I mean, we have very beautiful leadership with our president right now and with the rest of the executive council. And I'm sure we want to make sure our ship goes forward. So handing over to the right persons is just the best thing. Yeah. So please participate, nominate, come up for your sets. I mean, we need more flight leads. We need more persons representing the chapter. Why a lot? So we need more persons on the team that are leading this beautiful community. On this note, I want to thank everyone for giving us out of your time. Please, if you can put the link to nominate, that'll be very helpful. Please, Amashola, if you can help us with the link to nominate. I'll thank everyone for your time. Thanks for everyone from the two sets, for the Executive Council, like making sure we have this done. I want to thank everyone. On this note, I'm busy starting to drag my talk so that we can drop the link for the nomination. Or if it doesn't drop, I'm just going to end the meeting. And please check your newsletters, like a lot of beautiful information. I always send that to your newsletter. So please open your newsletters. I'm still trying to waste time, but the link has not come. So let me just end the meeting. On this note, thank you very much. Good night and good night in Nigeria. God bless. Enjoy the rest of the night, people.
Good night, guys. Bye.
We're not taking the pictures. We're not taking the pictures.
Okay.
Our picture. Please open your camera and smile for us. I have to submit it to my president. Please, Amashola, please help us take picture. Please open your camera. Tony,
Amashola is not here. Amashola is not here. Okay, she's here. Amashola, well done.
Happiness, Isioma, I'm calling everybody. Alexander, Dr. Abigail, Penwell, Deborah. Please open your Tony. Everybody's wearing hoodie. It be like saying now only me do Nigeria.
We did not get the memo.
Yeah, they stand in front of fan and AC because this house they hot. But see hoodie everywhere, downed people. Please, selfie.
Yes, the selfies have been taken. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.